here, founder of Vision Heals. We are in our Vision Lab right now with these two beautiful ladies here, Noemi and Sandra, and I'll let them each introduce themselves. But before I hand it over, just wanted to let everyone know they are members of Vision and Heals. Noemi, I know, is an accountant by day, and she's going to tell us all about Limitless Wardrobe. So Noemi, I'll pass it on to you.
Sure. So as she mentioned, I am an accountant full-time. However, alongside my sister that's here next to me, Sandra, we are co-partners of Limitless Wardrobe Co., which is an online women's boutique that focuses on women empowerment. And we do that through providing clothes, because we feel that whenever women dress well and feel well, they feel more empowered. And Sandra, now do you want to talk a little bit about you?
I'm a mother of two boys, and obviously I'm co-owner of Limitless Wardrobe. So on my free time, when I'm not doing the mom duty, I'm actually helping and working on the online boutique and surviving on coffee.
Yes, because being a mom and also having a business and having a full-time career, I feel like that creates a good balance. So because whenever she can't do something, I hop in, or whenever I can't do something, she hops in. For example, we had an event that happened this past weekend, and unfortunately she was out of the country, so she couldn't attend. However, because we have each other, we were able to balance it out, and I was able to run the whole event by myself.
Yes.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, ladies, I know you're both local to Deland, so tell us a little bit about your background, your family background, and what made you ladies start the company. What was your push and your motivation?
I feel like we have always been in the business industry just because my parents always had a business. We had like a clothing business with my mom years ago.
Like 20 plus years ago.
20 plus years ago. She stopped that. Then we had a food truck. So we were running the food truck with her. I was helping her, run the food truck. So I feel like we've had that experience of like running a business, but never owning it. Because obviously that was my parents, and, we were just like helpers, employees. But now we are like, this is our boutique. This is me and hers.
Yeah. So one of the things too that I wanted to point out, I'm not sure for those of you who are from Volusia County, we were born and raised here, and every weekend there was a flea market that is actually where the old, where the new the marketplace neighborhood Walmart is. Yeah. So there used to be a flea market there,
that
and
was a flea market before.
That's where we actually used to work every single weekend. We would get up at 5 a.m. and set up and help our parents. So I feel like a lot of the skills that we learned business-wise, we were able to gain from that, and it's something that like we've always worked as a family. So we said, why not start something that we're actually passionate about? Because growing up, we actually played dress up all the time.
We would always do
and we would get compliments on like our outfits. So like currently what we're wearing is actually from our boutique. Jeanette actually purchased that. What our mannequin is wearing, at one of our events a couple months ago. So yeah, it's something that we're genuinely passionate about, and we're both in different phases of life, and we feel like, just because as women you're in different phases doesn't mean that you can't feel good, or her as a mom doesn't mean she can't dress a certain well, because we feel like society has like this certain stigma that women should dress a certain way after a certain point in life, but we don't believe in that, and we want to help empower women. We've actually had an opportunity to invite the councilwoman to come in, and she tried on a suit that she wore for like this really popular event that they had going on. So it's just very fulfilling to know that we're actually making an impact through selling clothes.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, thank you for that. And so you mentioned you and your sister run the business together. Yes. How is it working full time and then running a business? Because this seems more than a side hustle, right? It seems like it's a pretty active. I've seen you guys, or you ladies, in action. Definitely motivates me. You guys put your heart into everything, and it shows in their clothes and how they your online events that you host. I'm on there the whole time wanting to buy everything, all the sales. I'm like click, 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 me. So I definitely see your passion in everything you do. So talk to us about running this as a business, because it sounds more like a full-time than a side hustle, but also being a full-time employee at and I know the firm you work for, so very demanding job. Yes, absolutely. You just ended your busy season. So I've witnessed that, but tell others, that are kind of in the process, how they're able to do it.
It's definitely like a hard, overwhelming just because on my end, she can get up and just work on something. I have 2 kids, so it's a little bit harder on me to just say I'm gonna go do this live sale, or I'm gonna go do. I have to find like, the time that works around kind of like with them, or somebody that can help me. Obviously, I do have like my family that helps me. So when I'm able to like find a sitter, like for instance now, this is where like I'm here helping with the business, or find my time, or my son's at school or the other one's napping. That's when I find my time to create things for the business and fulfill orders, ship out orders. So that's how I do it. But it is definitely a struggle at times. It's not rainbows all the time.
Right. It's not beautiful all the time. And I think one of the things that has helped us is learning what our strengths are, because obviously, like, if I know I can't package an order as pretty as she can, and we like to be very detailed with like what we're doing, because we ultimately like are very passionate about what we're doing. So I tell her, hey, can you focus on the packaging and I'll focus more on the administrative tasks. So I think understanding as business partners, especially understanding where our strengths are and our weaknesses to help balance each other out, has definitely helped us a lot. But also I feel like it's definitely been a work in progress. Like,
yes.
I think organization is the ultimate way to be successful.
Yes, because we have had our lows, and
where
errors and trials. I think
trial and error.
Trials and error.
Yes. And I think organization is the hardest thing to like actually accomplish. And I think it's something that we're still working on. Like something as small, and I guess this isn't small, for businesses that have inventory, just keeping track of like the quantity, the location of the inventory. Simple things like that has taken up a lot of time to actually get organized and be in a position where we're like, okay, we finally got this out of the way. And I think like there's always room for improvement. So we're never going to be perfect. And I don't think we've gotten there yet, but we're definitely learning from our mistakes too. For example, when we have pop-up shops, there was this lady that popped up that came over to our event, and she realized that we were struggling with checking people out. So she suggested like the POS app, and that's something that like
we didn't know anything about.
We didn't even know anything about, because again, this is our actual first like business. And it's little things that have really helped. I think learning from our mistakes, getting feedback from other people, and just taking it all in, taking notes. But I think organization is something that we definitely struggle with.
You're always learning. I feel like you're always learning something new, and you put input into your business, and it definitely helps. Taking it easy, like for the pop-ups, that's what we're using now. And
I think like before, I would say months ago, like I said, she went on a trip for this past event. I would have never been able to do it by myself, but because we received feedback from other people, we got organized like way ahead. We planned everything out. We learned that you can now barcode your inventory, and that was like something that saves us a lot of time. So I think like efficiency too, we've gotten better at that.
For someone that has a business that actually has merch, this is really good feedback. So, I mean, from what I see, mom of 2, a college graduate with a full-time job. You ladies just are proof that you can do it all. You can have it all. You can have, your passion for your career, but still live out your passion with fashion, right? And you could still be a mom.
Right, correct, yes.
And still be able to run a business, right?
And that's what I always say. Just because you're a mom, you shouldn't let that stop you from following your dreams. If you want to open a business and you're passionate about something, go for it. Don't let the mom title stop you from it.
Absolutely.
I think that's.
And I also feel like, once you're a mom, you can do anything. Like if you have that job down, then you can multitask. You can be on your phone, adding products and working while you're carrying a baby. Like the sky is the limit.
Sky is the limit, guys. And definitely as Latinas, and I'm also a Latina. I'm very proud to see this. I mean, we need more of this, right? More ladies in business, more minorities in business, right? And you guys prove that it could be done, right? Community, working together, building a network, being able to take the feedback from another person and be able to incorporate that into your day-to-day. Now to have a flawless, system is amazing. So before we find out where we can find all your stuff, maybe talk about some sales, I want to leave some last piece of advice for, the little girl that may be watching, or the mom that's at home trying to figure out how can she launch, her business. Let's give some of the folks advice out there.
I can say like something that was really like inspirational for us. We actually recently went to Nashville, and we went to like this really huge convention where there was thousands and thousands of both manufacturers and boutique owners. And I think like from that, we really got inspired. And going back to like being a Latina boutique owner, we noticed that we were the only ones in that whole convention that were women of color.
Yeah.
So that to us, although like to some people they may play the comparison game of like, you know, I don't look like them, like why am I even here? For us, that was very inspirational. Like if they can do it, we can do it, and we need to pave the way for other women who look like us. So I think ultimately, like as a woman of color and any woman in general, I think don't be afraid to like, if you see that there's an industry that doesn't have or look like people who look like you, don't be afraid to go into it just because you don't look the same.
Yes. Like for that event, like I said, I took my baby. I took him because like I said before, if you really want to open a business, you have to find your way into it. You know, obviously you're going to have where you're going to have to bring your baby with you. And that was my case. I left one behind at home, had one with me. But like I said, I'm not letting that stop me from not, you know, continuing my business. So I don't think that should be in, you know, like a, what do you say,
like it shouldn't stop you.
It shouldn't stop you from, you know, becoming a business owner.
Yeah. I think like ultimately too, you really need something that you're passionate about, because obviously she's a mom and that's not always going to be beautiful. Like you need something where you can use your creativity. I'm a very analytical person, and I'm not going to say that accounting is like the best job I ever had. Of course, I went to college and I like what I do, but I feel like overall I need something where I can use my creative like mindset, because that's just who we are. Like as women too, we're very creative. So definitely find something that you're passionate about. Like don't go into business thinking like just because it's a business you're going to do well. You have to like what you're doing.
I love that. I love that. I mean, you ladies are the whole package. Beauty, brains, everything. And your sisters. So that's amazing. I'm sure your mom is very proud. So before we end, I just want to know where we can find your stuff. I kind of stalk their page because I love their stuff. But you want to tell the world where they can find you, the merchandise and your sales. If you have anything going on that you want to mention, definitely do that.
So you can find us. We have Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and they're all the handle is Limitless Wardrobe Co. Or our website is www.limitlesswardrobeco.com.
Yes, and regarding sales and events that we have coming up, we are pretty good about like posting anything that we have coming up on there. Recently, we met a lady from a nonprofit organization who invited us to like a gala as a VIP guest to like an art exhibit show. So we're super excited. Again, trying new things. This is something that we've never gone to, but we're super excited. We already ordered our dresses. So yeah, then also we have our 2-year anniversary coming up where we do plan on doing like the biggest sale that we've had yet. We don't have the
details or anything. We're still prepping for that event, but that is coming up. Yes. 2 years.
Wow. And growing through a pandemic.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me and giving the world some advice, right? Sharing your story, right? Because you don't know who you're motivating through your story. So you ladies have been amazing. And this is Jeanette concluding today's session. Cheers.
That was good.